If you are new to the channel, then subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for further notification. Okay student, welcome to lecture 16. Until last lecture, that is lecture 15, we have seen this one. The applications of direction relay in ring feeder, in parallel feeders, and in case of ring we have seen what are the backups. The backup of 7 was 5, for 7 the backup was 5, for 5 it was 3, for 3 it was 1. Now let us see the time settings in case of this directional relay, how we do it. Let's take a simple example of DTOC relay only. So because there are lots of backups, so the philosophy is same. The primary backup coordination philosophy will go that way. But suppose this is the feeder like the earlier one. So there are two faults, F1 and F2. Suppose let me start with F2. So which one is the tail and which one is the farthest end? Here by seeing it is not so easy. In case of radial it was easy. The thing that is at the far end, this was my farthest end, so I started with my farthest end. But here the farthest is not so visible. So you can see, you can take a fault, move around the ring, and you see if I start from here and this part is the farthest part. So vice versa also you can do. So you can do in both ways. So let me start with this way. I am starting with this way. So this is the farthest end. So if this is so that's why I have taken F2 is a fault. So the farthest relay is the 7th relay. Relay 7, 7th number. So I am taking the shortest time for the 7th number, that is 0.1 second. Now what is the next backup for 7? In this path. I am moving in this path. In this direction. So who trips in this direction? If 7 fails, 5 trips in this direction. So next backup is 5. So I have taken a time margin of 0.5 seconds. So 0.1 plus 0.5, it is 0.6. You can see here. Here also I have done it. And then if 5 fails, who is the next relay who is operating in this direction? 3. So 0.6 plus 0.5, 1.1. And if 3 fails, who is the next backup? 1 in this direction. So 1.1 plus 1, it is 1.6. So this is the way you can do it. Similarly, you can do it in reverse for the next one also. And the next one is, if I move from this to this direction now. Now I will be moving in this direction. Now the farthest is the 2, 1. So time I have taken the smallest time, 0.1. Who is the backup for 2? If 2 fails in this direction, 4. So again 0.5, 0.1 plus 0.5 is equal to 0.6. So this is your 0.6. Again 0.6 plus 0.5. Who is the backup for 4? 6 is the backup, 1.1. What was the backup for 6? 8 is the backup, so 1.6. So likewise, we do the time settings in case of directional relay. So I have taken a simple example, only DTOC relay. In the same principle, IDMT relay can also be done. Now let's see the principle. What is the principle of directional overcurrent relay? What was the principle? It need to find out the angle between the relay current with respect to the phase volt, with respect to the voltage phasor, and what is the angle between them. So for forward fall, the phase angle is small. For backward fall, the phase angle is large. Now you can recall this one. What is your power? Power is equal to VI cos theta. Power is VI cos theta. Suppose you have a path here. You don't know which direction the current is flowing. Suppose you put a relay here. Current can go in this direction, current can go in this direction, both way current can go. Okay. Now this depends on CT. How you have connected your CT. Suppose you connected your CT in such a way, you connected your CT and you given dot combination in that such a way that this current I am sensing, this direction current I am sensing. You can reverse it by, if you change the connection of CT, then it will sense this current. So that depends on CT connection, which current you want to sense. Suppose I am sensing in this direction. Now which direction I am sensing? I am sensing, suppose this direction current I am sensing. Depends on me. Okay. So if I say power is equal to, so this is my positive direction power, VI cos theta. So when it will remain cos theta is positive? When cos theta is positive? In first and fourth quadrant. So if theta is between 90 to minus 90, plus 90 and between plus 90 and minus 90. That is first and fourth quadrant. Remember your coordinate geometry. This is your cos, this is your first quadrant, this is your fourth quadrant. First, second, third, fourth. So who remains positive in first and fourth? Cos theta remains positive here. So your current, if this is your V phasor, so current can be from here to here, 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 your I. So then power will be positive because your angle will be less than 90 degree. Either plus 90 or minus 90. It can be lagging, it can be leading. So that's what they are saying. What is forward fault, what is backward fault. So you can see, so the forward fault, the angle difference is small, so less than 90. Either it is plus 90 or minus 90. And for backward fault, the angle will be, this is my forward direction. This is I forward, somewhere here it is will be forward. If I reverse the connection, then it is in this direction. So what will be the angle in this case? It is more than 90 degree. If it is more than 90 degree, then it is negative power. So direction is reverse. So that's why the direction can be sensed. Now let's consider, so if you see an induction based electromechanical relay, you can think of your instrumentation course, that is your wattmeter. Here there are two coils, one is CC, one is PC, current coil and pressure coil. So this is the current coil that is coming from CT, and the lower one is your PT connection. From here it is coming, it is PT, you can see it, I think. Yes, this is your PT. This is your pressure coil, which is sensing voltage. This is sensing voltage. So voltage I am giving this way. What is the meaning of voltage? This connection, this direction. Current is okay. If this is this, that means current is flowing in. Voltage is not flowing. If someone gives voltage in this notation, that means this is plus, this is minus. That's it. So here voltage notation is given in this way. So if you apply the voltage across PC, some current will flow, that is known as IPC. So these two fluxes form. Due to this flux, this disc rotates, and once the disc rotates, it hits the trip contact. It will target, or it will hit the trip contact, and it will make the trip contact close. That was the idea. So same thing is saying here. And the pressure coil is highly inductive. So if you see the pressure coil, it is always it is made highly inductive. So whatever voltage you applied, the current is going to lag it by an angle almost near to 90 degree. But here variable capacitor and resistance is given. So by which you can change this angle. So the angle between VPC and IPC is known as theta PC. You will see it, and you can change this angle. So IPC lags VPC by a large angle, theta PC, and this angle can be changed by varying this variable resistance R and C. And the angle between this current and the voltage it is sensing, that is denoted by theta. That will depend on the system. What is the system load factor? What is the fault condition? After fault, what is the angle between the voltage and current it became? Before fault, what is the angle? So that depends on this. Now what is the operating torque? For electromechanical relay, we have derived it. Operating torque is directly proportional to the phi1, phi2 and sine alpha. You can remember this one. What is the alpha? Alpha is the angle between these two flux. So from where these two flux is coming? Flux is coming from I. So two currents are needed. One is IPC, one is ICC. One is pressure coil current. Even if you apply voltage, current will flow. So that current will form flux. Same here in current coil also. Current is flowing from CT. That current will create a flux phi. Now if I draw the phasor diagram, let me draw the phasor diagram in a fresh. So let's see. Suppose this is my VPC. Okay. This is the pressure coil voltage. That voltage, the relay is sensing this voltage. So what is my pressure coil current? It is highly inductive, I told you. So it will be almost 90 degree at an angle of this. So it is IPC. So what is this angle? Theta PC. Now where should be your IPC? Let me give dot 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 in this direction. Let me extend this line dot dot dot. And let us wait. Now where should you think that your IPC should be? ICC. IPC you got. Alpha is the angle between IPC and ICC. So when sin alpha is maximum, when alpha equal to 90 degree. So if the angle between these two current, one is IPC, one is ICC. ICC till now you don't know where is your ICC. So your ICC, if it is at 90 degree with IPC, then maximum torque will occur. That means if I say this angle is 90 degree, then this is the maximum torque position. Means if your ICC remains here, then maximum torque will produce. Similarly, I can say a minimum torque will produce here. This is also maximum, this is also maximum, but here it is maximum in negative direction. My negative direction maximum is minimum. Okay, so maximum torque will occur here, positive torque. So if I set my disc to rotate in positive direction only, so my disc will rotate if the torque is in positive direction. That means this side. So this side will be your trip zone. This side, and this entire side will be your restraint zone, because here negative torque is producing. Now you can see I can be anywhere around. I can be anywhere around. ICC can be here, ICC can be here. It can be anywhere. I don't know. If it comes here, then if it comes this side, then it is negative torque. It will not trip. But for positive torque, your ICC can be here, ICC can be here, and the angle between these two will be always alpha. And if it is maximum, then it is known as maximum torque position. Can you get any sense about trip signals? Which side will be tripping side, which side will be? So if your IPC remains in this side, so it becomes this. Or it becomes positive torque side. So now let us define this angle is a tau. Let's call it a MTA. What is known as MTA? This is known as maximum torque angle. What is the formula for this one? This is 90 degree and this is theta PC, so it will be 90 minus theta PC. The same I have drawn here. I think now you can understand. So this is your VPC. Okay. So this is your IPC, which is lagging almost 90 degree behind. But here it will be less than 90 degree because you have put some resistance, some capacitance, which is varying this one. But nevertheless, it will be near to 90 degree. So this is my maximum torque axis. This axis is known as maximum torque axis. How you will do it? You put a 90 degree to this IPC. First you draw VPC, then you draw IPC. Once you draw IPC, you can draw this line because that will be 90 degree to this one. So this side will be your positive side because your positive power flow will be when the voltage angle and angle between current is less than 90 degree. So this side becomes your positive side and this side becomes your negative, maximum negative torque. So positive torque it will trip, in negative torque it will restrain. So this zone, this is the zone divider. Anything in this side will give you positive torque, anything in this side will give me negative torque. Again I told you what is tau. This is your tau. This is known as maximum torque angle, which is 90 minus theta PC. Now you can recall your wattmeter connection. Okay, let me come it a little bit later. Now what is the alpha? Alpha is the angle between, I have shown you, I have given some dot marks for ICC. This is ICC can be here, ICC can be here. If ICC is here, then this is alpha. If ICC is here, then this is alpha. So when alpha becomes positive as long as, because it is sin alpha will be positive as long as it is in first and second quadrant, that is 0 to 180 degree. So alpha can be from here to here. So if this is in between these two, then the positive torque. That's what the same thing. So this side will be positive, this side will give me positive torque. Because my alpha is here, it is starting from 0 and if you reach here, it will reach 180 degree. So until here to here, it will be positive. If you move here, then it will be negative. So that's what it is saying. Alpha is between 0 to sin alpha will be positive torque and positive torque will be developed. So the trip zone and the restraint zone are marked. So you have marked what is your trip zone, what is your restraint zone. Let tau represent the angle between theta PC and the position of maximum torque, which is known as maximum torque angle. Tau is equal to 90 degree minus theta PC. Now the tau can be, so you can change the tau. This tau you can change by changing your theta PC. So the up to how much angle you want to trip, which direction you want to trip, which direction you want, this axis you can change. This axis, because this is the margin of trip and restrict. So you can axis this, you can rotate it here. If your theta PC is less, then this line will come like this. So you can change the division of trip circuit and restraint circuit by using your theta PC command, by changing your theta PC. So that's what they are saying. So you remember this one, this formula MTA is 90 minus theta BC by external variable resistance and capacitance in the circuit. Now can you recall your wattmeter? What you have studied. So wattmeter, what is the MTA of the wattmeter if I want to say what is the MTA? So in case of wattmeter, this is your, let me draw the phasor diagram for MTA. This is your VPC in case of wattmeter. So wattmeter, it is purely inductive, there is no variable resistance, so your IPC will be here. And this is your theta BC. So once theta BC equal to 90, so what will be tau? 90 minus 90, 0. So tau is 0. You can remember this one. For your wattmeter connection, what is MTA? Simple wattmeter, that is tau is equal to 0 degree. Because this is the maximum, then if this is IPC, then ICC should lie here. If ICC should lie here, then maximum torque will come. So for a directional relay, what we expect from a directional relay? It should trip in forward fault, it should restrain in the backward fault. In backward fault, it should not trip, should not mal-operate, must follow primary backup relay coordination philosophy. Now let us see. Now until this much, whatever I have given the syllabus for this course, that is for diploma level, I think this much is sufficient for your directional relay. The next part is not in your syllabus, but I again strongly recommend you kindly go through this. What I am giving here in this course, but what I am going to say in the next few 1 or 2 lectures, even if it is not in your syllabus, but you can understand this one. I am preparing my material in such a way so that it belongs to what you have learned till now. It is not that you don't know anything about this and I am talking about that. So you have the background, you can understand this one, what I am, because you have done some phasor diagram, so you can understand that one. That will be very helpful for you coming degree courses and higher level entrance exams. So this will be very useful. So I recommend you kindly go through this. So now selections of IPC and VPC. Now let's consider a directional relay for protection against all phase fault belongs to phase A. Suppose I am talking about only phase A faults. I want to protect phase A. I will put a directional relay in phase A. Directional, if I say directional relay, you mention it directional overcurrent relay. Or few times later you will also get to know there is another directional relay which is known as directional power relay. So that's why be specific. It is directional power relay or directional overcurrent relay. In some times we say only directional relay, that means directional overcurrent relay. If it is a power relay, then they specifically mention directional power relay. But it's better use every time you specifically mention. So if I am considering only phase A, so in phase A this type of faults are possible. AG, LG fault, line to line, AB, AC, line to line LLG fault, ABC, ACG, and symmetrical faults, ABC and ABCG. So what should be your correct, which current you will consider for your CC current coil? Obviously you will choose IA, because IA is going to change very high, because the fault current will, every fault will induce all the faults will increase your IA at least. It may increase others also. In case of line to line, it may increase AB also. But A will be always there. So my option will be for current coil, I will choose current for A phase, because there will be significant change. Now what should be the change of VPC? So I will leave it up to here. Next day, so VPC should be such that it should not alter so much with your fault. It should remain the same. In next class, what we will do, we will try to draw phasor diagrams for various then we will come back how we will choose VPC. If you like the video, then press the like button and please give your valuable comments in the comment section.